Welcome back! We've got plenty more patrons interested in your work. Such texture! Welcome back! We've got plenty more patrons interested in your work.
What can I brew you up?
box? Oh, such intricate, careful detail. It's an old family name, you know. Now give it here. Sheesh, so many accusations. I waited long enough for this moment. Look, I've got the... You will not let up. Fine then. Look, my mother left jewels in this box. Some of my inheritance. Children can be careless. Stranger thing. Why you? I'll give you half the jewels inside. Ugh! Last chance. If my legs were working proper, I'd knock that box out of your smug hands. Come back to taunt me? Or... You! I don't speak to liars.
Some blue here, green, no, yellow.
I do love working here. How's the hot Medva is an old bearfolk family name. A few bearfolk around here have ancestors named Medva. Our own ranger Victor down at... From what I've heard around town, Lady Samira also has family in the Medva line.
What? A box? Why are you bothering me with something like that? I do, actually. Okay, well, I can't say I ever expected to see this. Medva was my great-great-grandfather. His mother brought him to Eastshade with nothing to her name except some seeds from their homeland. According to the story, she kept them there, in that very box. I can't believe you actually recovered it. Makes sense it would be Lady Samira's scheme, but I can't figure out what she'd want to do with seeds. Well, that's about the best thing I've ever heard. Pretty impressive you managed not... The seeds must still be in here. I've got another key somewhere. Unless... I think I'll try planting them. In pots, of course. They're an invasive species. Thanks for rescuing this for me. It's nice to have a piece of...
You know what? This box is basically a historical artifact. It would be nice for other travelers to see a part of immigrant history. Would you mind delivering it to the innkeeper up the hill?
What an ornate box. Oh, this is the famous seed box of the Medvay family. I guess it's fitting to display. Not at all. But us innkeepers, folks tell us things. Just the other night, I heard the wildest story about a strange musical group out in the woods. I'm gonna set up a nice plaque for this.
Well, what do you say? Up for a trip to the mountaintop? even more spectacular than I always dreamed. Feel free to walk around and take in the sights. I'll take you back down when you're finished. Are you ready to head back? Thanks again for all your help. There's nothing so exciting as bringing people on a great adventure.
You found me, my ring traveler, but you didn't bring the old fish. I don't need. I'm so glad just to be Here. And thank the great shade you survived. Well, it's hard to be sure. What a mean-spirited old fish. Well, you see, there was one day. So he swallowed this frog, and the taste was so... There was a boat nearby. And when old Pops left, that boat was knocked over, and the captain was real upset. So anyhow, can't believe you survived. That old Pops, he's got it out for us all.
Are you from the university? Oh, sorry. It's long. We're a research team for the University of Nava, excavating these glaciers in search of an ancient cavern. But the progress has been slow. We are kind of expecting the university to send. We've been struggling. But I digress. I'm Commander Lilian. Oh, these glaciers. So full of mystery. But the further we dig, well, things are getting eerie. Visions and sounds we can't explain. This is the reason I wrote to call off the mission. Surely there's a sensible explanation, but my crew, we've been out here in complete isolation for months. It's freezing, and now, just as we reach the cavern entrance, the tunnel collapsed again, blocking us out. No way to tell how bad the damage is. To top it, months of progress, lost in a single night. We're at our wits' end. We can arrange that, but let's plan for tomorrow. It's been a long day already, and the crew will be wrapping up soon. We have a supply tent I'm sure you could squeeze into. Does it have the extra padding and lining to survive? I'll sort the tent out for you. In the meantime, why don't you get to know the crew a little better? They'd appreciate seeing a new face.
Had a chat with Commander Liliana, did you? She managed to recruit you yet? Maybe you can take my spot and I'll head back to Nava. Right. There are records of an ancient spirituality in the area. It seems to me I would have said so too a few months ago. But with everything happening now, well, we've seen these figures surrounding our camp. They're always whispering. The texts on this area of the world are sparse. There's some information that hints heavily at curses, but I haven't found much. I'll tell you, we're all very much looking forward. Mira's been having an especially hard time with everything. She specializes in glaciology, and, well, not that I should be telling you any of this, but I'm worried about her. She walked up to the northern shore. It's a nice place to take a break. Less cursed, I guess.
Hello? Are you real? Oh dear. Well, that shows you what state I'm in. I didn't expect to see a tourist all the way out. Yeah, this is one creepy place. Best day of my life when I set foot on this big old block of ice. But now, who told you that? Was it Fadir? He's always butting into things. My grandmother told me about spirits that haunt people who make bad choices. I always thought she was just getting me to behave. But what if it's real? What, in my whole life? A lot of things. Tell me, what would you suggest I do about the thing that won't stop talking to me? Okay, I know you're just trying to be helpful, but I actually don't feel like talking. What did you want to ask about? We're trying to access an important Strange things have been happening ever since we got here. Bye.
I think I managed to make enough space for you in the tent. Might be a little cozy, though. It's yours to use when you're ready. What's going on?
Mira ran inside the tunnel. She was screaming her head off and just went in.
What? We can't go in there.
I tried to stop her. We don't have a choice now.
Oh my gods, how is this happening?
I heard voices. Tens of voices, all whispering so loudly my brain felt like it would burst. I came out here to check on you all, and she yelled something about, it's not safe in there. I don't know why we're still standing here. I'm going in after her.
Fedir has lost his mind too. You should go first. Nope, we're going in. Let's move. That's an order. Hey, are you alright? It seems we've all had a bout of hallucinations. I think you might have managed to save us somehow. I see. When I came to, I found you here, next to all our artifact bins. You must have stacked them up, and... that hole, of course! It's a vent! When you pulled out those ice chunks, all the spores dissipated! Look at all this icy fungus. Fedir just identified it as a highly potent hallucinogen. We must have... and that led to some powerful experiences. Mine was about 4 golden owls, leading me down a path to... well, it doesn't matter. They're fascinating. Brought me right back to my days of experimenting with the roots. Although, not as pleasant, really. To think, we've been making our situation worse. I'm not sure how you knew what to do, but I'm glad you were able to air out the spores. Thanks to you, we survived and even managed to recover the artifacts. Thanks for running in there after my crew. The existence of this cavern is... We have lots to do now. I'm going to write back to the university immediately to inform them of our findings.
I suppose it makes sense that... I guess the spores were what made me think it was a curse. Anyway, it'll be nice to do some actual research for once. We'll have to get some coverings for our faces.
Mushrooms? Ugh, I've always hated mushrooms. I really thought that I ran in here last night to find out what the demon wanted. I guess that wasn't really the best choice looking back. But I'm glad everything... Well, now the real research can begin.